Well, we got a different episode for you this week.
Yes, we're going to be looking at some of those things that we wish we knew before we set off on our lap.
Oh yes, it'd be really nice to sit there and know a little crystal ball that this was some of the stuff we should have known, but
these are some of the things that we wanted to know, and hopefully you guys want to know too.
That's why we're making this one here, so you can sit there and watch it and go, wow, I didn't actually know that. Watch this and then you'll find out.
Let's get into it. So some of the things that we have learned on the lap, now these are the first 4 are things that we learned that you need before you go. This is when you're planning to pack it all up and head on out.
Rightio, so what was the first one?
First one, and really important, even though we have done camping all of our lives, we still went for a practice run.
Yeah, because we got rid of the camper trailer. We had an off-road camper trailer. We sold it. We picked up a new little hybrid van. It's the AUSRV XL13. It's awesome, but we thought we might go away for a month in it just to see how it goes, fix up any little niggly bits that we thought we might want to change. And
we didn't know if we'd like it for a month. Like we thought we would like travelling, but we didn't know. We didn't know if a van would be too small or any of that.
Yeah.
So I think a month is a minimum. Like if you want to see if you like the lifestyle, we knew at the end of 1 month
that we wanted to keep going.
Oh, we didn't want to stop.
Yeah.
And to go home and work for another term just about killed us. Our last night of camping before we head home. It's just a quick and easy setup. Are you ready to go home, Cain?
No.
We don't want to go home.
We don't want to go home.
We want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
3 months. 3 months and we're on the road full time. Oh, can't wait.
Who are we waiting for?
Oh, someone's got to finish off work. So yes, 1, it helps you determine if you like the travelling lifestyle. And 2, what were you saying?
It gets sort of ironed out a few of those things of the new caravan sort of feels and that sort of stuff.
And it really determines things that, oh, we didn't use this at all, we don't need it. Or,
that's right.
Oh, Cain, we need to get... We had a few of those, didn't we?
We did. We upgraded the mirrors because we just had add-on mirrors, so we had to chuck them out and get proper mirrors. Just some little things like that to iron out just on the way.
We just went, yeah, we have to do that straight away. Now, some of the things that we have learnt, and all of these lessons we've just about learnt after we left.
Oh, yeah.
So
some of them are big.
For you. Before you leave, number 1, some of the things to do, check your driver's license.
And that's a big one. It's not so much check it, it's at the end of every 10 years you need a new photograph. So if you're not in the state that you're registered in, then you have to go through a bit of rigmarole of getting your licence. You can do it online. They say, yep, it's all online, but you've got to see JPs, you've got to get paperwork, you've got to get photographs.
It's a pain in the butt.
It is literally a pain in the butt.
And for some reason, both of our licences, I was lucky, I literally caught mine a month before we left, but we didn't catch Cain's.
Yeah, I know, that one sprung up on us a little bit.
Other
ones are like doctors. Just plan how you're going to do your doctors. As you probably all know, I've got a heart condition, so my doctors are here in Queensland. I had to set up some telehealth works, getting scripts and stuff like that. Blood tests are always a big toughie because you do them in every state's different. So,
but you can do blood tests.
You can do, yes, you can do it all. It's all achievable. It's just there's little hassles and niggles that you got to deal with along the way. So make sure you're just aware of that before you go.
For all you ladies out there, I found my hairdresser actually suggested, she wrote out what she did with my hair, like what type of foils, the colours, that sort of stuff. So when I went to the hairdresser, I could just give them a card and they sort of had a bit of an idea of what they did. And then from the hairdresser I tried to get the same thing, just so that you could pass that information on, because if you're anything like me, I am so bad at remembering exactly what they did, and it really helps.
I don't have that problem. As you get older, you seem to get thinner.
Don't you have
wear a hat.
No colours, no, how do I cut my hair?
I've coloured mine a bit grey. Yeah. Silver.
You wish. The other one is mail. Now, we decided, even though we still have our property in Townsville, we're getting all of our mail redirected to my mum. And We don't have a lot because most of it, if we're possible, even like our rates and that is all emailed now. But the stuff we had to get mailed comes to Mum. She can just take a photo and send it through to me.
That's right. So you just sort out your mail.
It's really good having someone that you can redirect it to.
And obviously when you're on the road, you can then work out where you're going to be to have stuff sent to you. So it gets sent to a post office, gets held in a box normally, and you show up within a couple of days.
Yep, you get the Australia Post app on your phone. And it will tell you if you are, say, near Ballarat, you just put in Ballarat and it will tell you which one to do.
We normally try, after a month, obviously we did a few thousand K, so I like to get it serviced within reason. I'm not one of these people that bang, we've hit the mark, let's stop. Doesn't matter where we are, you know, so within reason. But I got a full service. I checked all the fluids, all the bearings, everything. I just told the mechanic, give it the full run over, pop a little tune, sweeten it up a little bit just to make sure that it's going to get out there and do what it has to do.
And has it been going well so far?
Oh, it's actually been going really well. I'm not going to lie.
We've had our first service since we've been on the road, and we were lucky. We're in Launceston, so we went to my brother, his mechanic.
Yep, down
and
there
so we were able to go to someone we sort of trusted.
Right.
Or that.
That's always the good one, is just trying to find someone you might trust, because they'll send you, yep, it's going to cost you this much, and they might pull a dipstick out and check the level of the oil and put it back in.
I have actually found asking on socials is a really good one, because usually there is someone in that area or know someone in that area.
We do. We use socials a lot. We put it out there. Where's a good hairdresser? Who's a good mechanic? Yeah. You know, what's a good place even to go to stay? Or they're just things to see, and that, put it out there, and they might say, yep, go to this person. They're a top bloke. That lady's an awesome lady.
Now, if anyone can give me a good accountant, because my accountant's ghosted me, the one I was going to.
Our old accountant was sensational. She's retired, and getting a new accountant.
So yeah, I need an accountant. Yeah. Two things that I think that were a must that we added on our van, and I think
that was after our month trip. We found out that we needed things like
Sirocco fans.
Sirocco fans.
Our van didn't come with them, so we needed to add them because
a little bit of air. Where
we went was hot in the month trip, so we needed air. But then we also went somewhere and it was a bit cold, so we needed to add that diesel heater. It's
craziness, because you're right. You go somewhere it's really hot during the day or evening, you have the fans on, and then bang, it can be freezing cold. And so we whacked in a diesel heater as well. So.
Both have been worth their weight in gold.
They certainly have.
Particularly now we're in Tassie, like the diesel heater has been amazing.
Diesel heater it's something that we've used more than most other things at the moment. So.
Definitely. So the last thing before we left,
we packed. We got everything at Poopa, threw it all in.
Yeah, pretty much. And we didn't listen to this advice, so we're trying to tell you. First thing is, don't overpack.
That's right. We thought on our month trip, just get it all in, and we thought, oh yeah, we'll use all that, and it sort of carried over onto our big trip, and we realised along the way that we don't actually use it all.
I think I'm used to packing for big trips, and I, grocery-wise, tried to have a lot of extra groceries. There is grocery stores the whole way along. Even in Tasmania, where there's not as many Woolworths, there is still heaps of IGAs. There is grocery stores everywhere. You don't need to carry an excess amount of groceries. You
just got to be concerned with your weights and that. So you put too much stuff in, everything obviously gets really heavy, and then where you load it in, it can sort of load up different areas.
I heard all of that on YouTube before I left, and I just went, but I need this, or I might want this.
You don't really need it.
You don't.
You can get really simple.
We've now thrown out things like we took in blankets, but because we know the diesel heater's so good with our doona, we've given them to op shops. Heaps of even not plates, but saucepans and things like that, serving dishes, just stuff that I found we have not used in like almost, 6 months that we've been on the road.
Normally find if you haven't used it for a few months, it's probably not going to be used. So unless it's a jumper, obviously you're going to do some summer months, and then you got to get winter months.
We've actually bought more jumpers.
That's right. So unless it's a jumper, you're not going to need some of these other things. You know, we're not going out to restaurants every second night. We're not you know, there's stuff that we're not using.
And it's not just clothes. I mean, I have heaps of clothes. I've fully admitted that, and I've kept
pans,
it's pots, pans. It's those sort of things that I thought, oh no, I'll need that, but you definitely don't. And if there's bigger things, like just say that you were thinking of getting an awning for your caravan, like the shade awnings, but you weren't sure if you needed it. My biggest suggestion would be is to hold off and see either after your month trip or wait and see on the road. As Cain said before, if you want it, you can order it online, get it delivered to the closest post office. It's better than buying it and then going, oh, we don't really need this.
Yeah, there were a couple of things that we sort of bought because we thought we'd need it and then realised that, well, we didn't actually even use it, so...
Number one I can think of is my washing machine.
Yeah, we did. We thought we were going to need a washing machine.
I thought it was going to be the duck's nuts, and I've done YouTubes and I liked it, but it was bulky, it took up heaps of room, and you had to have power and water to do it, which, if you've got power and water, you're probably at a caravan park, so you may as well use theirs.
And there's plenty of places you can go and find laundry mats or washing machines. Yes, at times you're probably out somewhere and go, yeah, having a little washing machine would be nice. I'm not going to say if you've got families, then I could imagine your kids, they're just going to blast through clothes.
Yeah.
Ours used to. But when it's just us, you know, we're pretty simple and easy. You can just hand wash them and chuck them back on the next day.
Is there anything that you bought that you thought that you probably jumped the gun a little bit and bought and you didn't really need? Oh, he just needs everything.
No,
he thought about his.
I do need everything. Look, I'll be honest. I probably bought a few too many hand tools from work. I bought the whole lot. They are heavy. I have used them, but I haven't used all of them. So that was probably a thing, because you get attached to your hand tools. Like you said, you get attached to your
clothes.
That's right, your things that you think you need, but you don't actually need them all. So
okay, that's a good one. The only thing that we said that you really have to do before you leave is if you need to do like GVM upgrades and that. We were thinking about it, we've decided not to so far, we haven't needed to, but why should you do that?
Compliance. We found out anything compliance wise done after registration has to be done in your own state. So yeah, we learned a bit of a hard lesson as we sort of went along, that some issues happened and we found out that we couldn't do them in the states we're in. We'd have to go back to where the vehicle was registered. So at the moment we're just sort of leaving it and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so yeah, they're just things like that. Just be aware that if your vehicle is registered in one state, it complies to that state. Other states can't fine you for it, but to get that fixed up or repaired, or if anything goes wrong, you've got to go back to the state that the work was done in and it complies in.
Yep. So they're all things that you should sort of might help you hopefully before you leave.
Bye.
When we're on the road. Now,
once on the road, party.
Again, I thought we are travellers. We have been to heaps of places, done heaps of trips. I thought we've got this. And we have learned a few lessons on the road, haven't we?
Yep, we jumped in the hot seat, we put the foot down and went doot doot, and we were off. Pew! And we thought we need to see this, everything.
Yep. And we were having fights about like how we're going to see things, and
I wanted to see stuff, she didn't want to see stuff.
We were not stopping anywhere.
No, we weren't actually seeing stuff. Even the stuff we thought we were seeing, we weren't seeing because we're...
Yeah. So number one was slow down.
Yeah, slow down. Yeah, it's a big country and you will not see it all. You can spend a long time in areas just going through, but you do have to stop and appreciate it. And that means you only drive an hour down the road. Stop, appreciate it, stay there. If it's a good spot, stay longer. If it's not so good, move on.
If it's a good spot, stop and enjoy it.
That's right, relax.
We found that when we did that, then we started exploring the local areas or talking to the locals and finding different hidden gems. A couple of them, when we stayed at Kengai, we were chatting to a guy camping there, and he told us to head down to the Taylor's Arms, the pub with no beer.
Pub with no beer.
Check it out, and we happened to do that, and we got to see Max Jackson, the Star Maker,
That's
sing
right.
there.
Well,
So-
obviously you jump online and Google, just make sure if they've got a band playing out there, say on Friday night or Saturday night, they're the best times to go. Otherwise, it's really just going to a pub, and it's an out and back sort of trip. But yeah, we actually thoroughly enjoyed it.
Also, we were just travelling from one area to another, and we happened to go through, and I can't remember the name of the town. We actually stopped to empty the toilet in the dump point, and Cain just jumped on Wiki Camps, and so they had a Henry Lawson museum there.
Yeah, I can't remember. That's near Dubbo, sort of back. That's right. And yeah, just found they had a Henry Lawson museum and thought, oh, we'll just pop in and see that while we're here in this town. So there, when you
$12,
that's right.
hidden little gem.
We don't tend to book either. If you keep booking, you know, lots of stuff ahead, you go, I've got to be here, 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 here. It makes it hard.
We pretty much don't book any accommodation at the moment.
Long distance. We'll book things, say, like the Spirit of Tasmania, because obviously you've got to book some of those, because if you get there, you may not get on for a few months. So they're sort of some big ticket items. Just booking a place to stay. If you've got to tread water for a few days, or you've got to be gone a bit earlier than you had to, that's just part of the parcel of the travelling life.
And if you don't slow down, within a month we were burning out. We were tired, we were cranky, we were fighting with each other.
It was more restful and relaxing to be back working than travelling.
Yeah, it was starting to become a chore. So, number one, slow down. Okay. Second thing we learnt, pretty fast at the same time as slow down, was that we both needed our own space because we were fighting. And do you know the place that we had the biggest fights? Was the grocery store.
Oh.
I was not used to Cain shopping with me. I do it all by myself normally. He was not used to it. It just did not work. So in the end, we came up with a plan, because often we were driving and we just called through a grocery store. So I would go in and do my groceries very quietly and nicely by myself, and it would actually also give Cain a time to calm down. Yeah, have his own. What did you do? Meditate? Oh, play games and look on social, most likely. But
planning's just stuff that we were all apart to do our things, because certain things like, yes, the shopping is, you know, or when she goes to get her hair done, that takes a lengthy time. It's not really something that I want to just sit around. I'm not looking at this. So you can do your own things. You can organise your own little things, and it's really important to have your own space and do your own things.
Some other things, like I spend a fair bit of time editing the YouTubes and downloading. It takes a fair bit of time. So what have you started doing while I do that?
I've been writing a book, so it gives me a chance to write away on my book and just read through, review editing stuff, just that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and that way we can, we're not annoying the other one wanting to do something. We actually have things that we can do. Now, the other thing that we learned fairly early on was that we copped a lot of bad weather and rain.
I'm not complaining. The rain and all that's awesome. People love it and have it. It's just for some reason when we started our travels, it just wanted to rain all the time.
So you really need to have somewhere to get out of the rain. And if you've got a caravan, you do have that. You just have to be aware of it. I'm thinking more if you're going to plan to do it in a rooftop tent and that, have in your head, what am I going to do if it rains? Because it does happen.
It does definitely happen.
And also, we haven't had to experience it yet, thank goodness, but I've heard the flies can be really bad, particularly in WA at times. So, you know, again, if you don't have a space to get away from them, it's going to drive you crazy.
Like I said, bigger vans, that'd probably be the one. Our hybrid's not huge. It does allow us to go inside and we can sit down and work and that in there. I'd imagine sitting in a rooftop or in the front seat of your car is much harder to get out of it. A bigger van, it's probably like a small home, so they've probably got plenty of room.
Yeah, they've probably got kids running around there too.
Again, like I said, we've travelled with kids. It was fantastic, and I would go back and do it again, but travelling without kids is something else. It just gives us our space in here.
And that is why we're empty nesters. We've actually found that when it's bad weather, we find it time where we can rest.
You can relax.
We can plan.
Can catch up on more of my book.
But it also makes you focus your time. As soon as we know that there's one sunny day coming up,
oh, you got it all planned.
Lots of things planned. Or if it's suddenly, oh, it's stopped raining, let's run out and quickly go and do something. So we actually do try and utilise that good weather. Probably more, we appreciate it more.
We do. It doesn't mean we don't do anything in the rain. There's still plenty of things to do and see. And
yeah, we went to the Blue Mountains in the rain.
We did. So you do have to do things, but it does give you that opportunity to stop and just, you know, maybe do that tomorrow, knowing that tomorrow is going to be a fine day and getting some of the admin stuff done on the rainy day.
Yeah, like just last week at Derwent Bridge, we had a busy time doing all the tours and that, so it was rainy, so we had a rainy day in the caravan and just relaxed.
And
it was
it's nice
good.
having a rainy day every now and then too.
The other thing that we've heard lots of people say was that everything that you have in the van needs to have 2 uses.
So we worked out, what do we have that has 2 uses?
So, well, we try and now think, oh, well, this is an important thing to keep in our van because it does have at least 2 uses.
Or if you're going to buy something new,
Yes.
you've got to sit there and go, is it going to have like 2 uses?
So what's your blower? What do you use it for?
Well, we use it to keep the fire going if you struggle to get the wood burning because it's been wet. So we use the blower to blow on it rather than me get gassed out blowing on it. So it's really good for that. It's great for blowing up our sups.
Yeah.
Certainly the first part, it doesn't do the high pressure stuff, but it definitely blows up the first part really quick.
Makes it so fast.
And just a general blow off of water or dirt or dust sort of off some things is really good for that as well.
We learned it actually blows the water off the back of our hybrid really well.
I've got a Makita, little Makita 18 volt blower there. So again, 2 uses, all my cordless gear and all that is Makita. So the batteries, 2 uses.
And even my little vacuum cleaner is Makita, so we just have the same batteries and we rotate them.
So everything, that's right. So they have multiple uses, can run all the stuff.
Now here's a good one for you. As you probably know, I like a Coke or 2. So I try and keep a carton of Coke in the van. And right where I keep it in the van is where I need a step. So now my carton of Coke turns into a step. And I get really annoyed when there's not many cans left in it and I'll go to step on it and it's like, oh, well, that didn't work.
Yeah, then we've got to look at getting more Coke.
Our camp oven, we've got a flat top camp oven lid, so we actually use that as our fry pan most of the time. So we actually haven't used it as a camp oven very
To be
often.
honest, we really haven't used the camp oven as a camp, but the weather hasn't really been conducive to have nice outside fires. But the lid we can put on our gas cooker and that, because the nice heavy cast lid, once it gets hot, it's perfect for cooking everything on.
Yeah, so definitely start looking at things and seeing, you know, does this have 2 purposes? Can we use it somewhere else? And it saves the stuff that you put in.
That's right. It saves having a heap of pots and pans when you can just utilise a good one for different things.
Now, leading from that, you all know I love my clothes. I love just having variety. But it's the weirdest thing. Since we've been travelling, it is so accepted to wear your clothes more than once in a day. Now, if it's a really hot, sunny day, different, but we've been in very cool sort of temperatures. And when you meet other travellers, if you're changing your clothes every day, they kind of look at you like, are you rich?
I know, either that
do you like washing? Like, why are you doing that? And I thought, if I was back at work teaching, and if I rocked up in the same clothes for 3 days in a row, even the kids would be questioning me what's going on. But in the travelling community, it is so acceptable and almost expected that you do that.
It means you don't wear them super stinky. But again, that comes back to, as we said, we're empty nesters. If you've got children, and our 2 boys...
they would have had them dirty in seconds.
That's right. They would go through maybe all their clothes in one day, because if there's a mud puddle somewhere, they're in it.
Definitely.
As much as we say don't go in it, bang, they're in it. They're rolling around. It's just craziness.
Thankfully, Cain doesn't do that most of the time.
No, I try and stay a little bit clean. Plus, you know, we camp if you're near water or rivers, you can swim in your clothes and then wring them out, hang them up, they're clean.
Oh, that's Cain's philosophy. His other philosophy is if he just sits them in the corner beside his bed,
they clean themselves.
They clean themselves. Yep. But hey, you know, like we try and only wash about once every fortnight-ish if I can, so it saves money. Now, something we have also learned the hard way is public holidays and school holidays.
When you work, all you want is holidays,
Yep.
public holidays. They are the bomb, the best. When you're actually travelling, they're not quite so good.
First thing we've learned is try and stay away from the coast.
Yeah, the popular areas.
Yep.
Just try and stay away from the popular areas that you would have gone to had you been working, because that's where all the action is.
Yep,
because just travelling and trying to get in there without booking or planning too much is really hard.
Whereas sometimes if you just go inland a little bit, there's hardly anyone there, and you're like, oh, okay.
The other thing that caught us out a little bit is, because we're Queenslanders, our public holidays up here are not the same as New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania. They're all different.
Yeah,
so
we got caught out in Victoria for Melbourne Cup.
We did, yeah, because then they have things like unofficial public holidays that we didn't even know about, sort of thing. So
yeah, and then Tassie's just had like Regatta Day, and we were very lucky that we just got some accommodation there.
That's right. Because other things about them is when you want to book for one night, they might say, no, you can only do 4.
That was Victoria.
That's right.
Yep.
It's a long, unofficial long weekend. You're like, well, I only want 1, but 4. So then you're going, oh, now you got to look elsewhere. So
now, one tip that we sort of started trying to do is we try and go to free camps around those public holidays, school holidays, but we get there early.
Yeah, just get there early so you can stay over the period.
Yeah, so if you get there early, usually no one else is there yet, so you can set up, you can get a good spot. It does bite you in the butt occasionally, because at Lake Wallace and Katoomba,
you get a lot of riffraff.
A lot of people came, but we at least had a camp. And it was free, but yeah, we were inundated with people.
So you can do that. We sort of got stuck there a little bit because the riffraff. We could have probably stayed further away just for that period and then come in afterwards when the riffraff's gone, because that campground was sensational.
We found that a positive attitude and being flexible have probably been the best 2 things that you can bring. Don't worry about your stuff. Bring those 2 things.
It really is. So you got to try, and even if things are tough, just remain positive and just be willing to be flexible that it may not work out the way that you wanted it to. But that doesn't mean that it's going to end up being bad. You might do some stuff or see some stuff you did not even expect to see or experience, and that's not a bad thing. So just remain positive, flexible.
We had floods chasing us all the way down to Victoria.
Yeah, we wanted to go this way, but we had to go that way.
And we saw some amazing places because of it that we didn't even plan to go to.
That's right, we weren't even planning. Everything we'd sort of planned was moving this way, but the floods just kept pushing us, and we ended up seeing some absolute fantastic stuff.
And that's where I think, like, we decided after the first month or so of travelling to not have a very specific plan of where we're going, just to have a more general. We knew we had to get down to the boat in Geelong by this date. We sort of then just went where the tide took us, and that has been the best way of travelling, really, for us.
I think the biggest killer, certainly for me, was as everybody thinks, oh, we're going to do the big laps, yay, we're going out, we're travelling. You know, even if it's full time, you think, I've got to get around in 12 months. We don't have to get around in 12 months. Even if you've got to get around in 12 months, don't just try and see everything. Pick your things that you're going to see, because you will not see everything. Yeah,
just make a few certain things. I've seen on a few pages where some people have booked their accommodation for the entire 12 months.
It's going to be
I don't know how they do that. I think it would be
things
so stressful.
break down, accidents, your car might have some issues, there's other things might happen at home you've got to fly back for. There's a whole lot of other things outside of your control, and that's why we say be positive, flexible, because when they do come around, deal with them, then you can continue to move on.
And that's the best thing about this lifestyle, is that being flexible, you get the freedom to start choosing that.
Even if you meet some other people and you want to travel with them for a little bit, you can veer off and just experience that as well, which has been fantastic for some of the stuff we've done. Yep.
And once you start this lifestyle, if you like it, like, you will know straight away, like within a month, if you like it or not. If you like it like us, you will not want to stop.
That's right.
it's that freedom. That's the bit that I love, just that freedom of waking up each day and going, hey Cain, what do you reckon we should do today?
Whatever we want. You might go outside and geez, the weather's good. We're going to stay another day. Or going, oh, the weather's not, you know, it's windy, it's just not nice. Let's pack it up. Let's move on down the road and see what's down the road.
Yep. Or it was only an ordinary camp. I'm not keen. Or, oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. Let's stay forever. Yes. And finally, we have found that campfires...
Money? No, we haven't found money.
Falling from the sky. No, I wish. That would allow you to do it forever. No, we have found campfires and games. Like, we love card games, board games.
We do.
They have been the best way to meet other travellers and just bond friendships.
Speaking of other travellers, we meet so many travellers out there that go, we just can't meet anyone our age, or we can't meet anyone in rooftop tents, or we don't meet anyone like in a caravan, and we're sitting there going, all we do is seem to meet those sorts of people, and then we go, we can't meet anyone our age type of thing, you know,
yes.
Like we meet families or we meet young couples, and they're all saying, oh, we can't meet other young couples, and I'm going, there's a lot of people doing it, it's a big wide world, don't fret and panic, they are out there, and you will bump into them when you least sort of expect it.
And that just shows you the variety of people who are out on the road too. Like, there is everyone from, you know, young, they've pretty much just left school, to families, to like empty nesters, to grey nomads.
That's right.
Anyone can do it.
And there's a lot of different setups too. You don't need to have $1 million to do it. You can just have your few thousand, as long as you've got a plan, as long as you're willing to stop in places and maybe work, or flexibility for that is massive.
So yeah, don't get envious if you see other people have got better cars or bigger vans or something like that. Your setup works for you.
Yep.
And our setup, as much as it's smaller, it works for us.
It really does. We've made it work.
Yep.
And I don't really want to go too much bigger. It'd be nice to have maybe some inside cooking and a bit better bench seat in there for lounge, but that's about it. That's...
And otherwise, it's perfect. Hopefully you find this helpful. Let us know if you find this sort of information helpful. We wish we had some of this sort of information out there when we first set up.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we'd love to know what you guys think. So, let us know in the comments.
That's right. If you want to know any more information, whack some comments down and we'll answer those. Definitely like and subscribe, because that helps us no end.
Definitely helps us a lot, yes.
And like I said, this is us, and we're happy just to provide our feedback and information.
So join us next week. We are spending time with our boys in Tassie, and we're going to show you how you can see a fair bit of Tasmania in 7 days.
Tassie in 7 days.
Check it out. Have you got a way of starting it?
Hello.
So welcome back to the MCG, the Whack of the Gabba, the Adelaide Oval. I reckon this is going to be my seat. What do you reckon?
Being on a...
No, we can't do that. Because this is going up this week.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Car and van before we left, like, what was the main thing that we had to do for that?
In regards to...
Obviously he's not teed up and want to slow down. Now, I have to turn the page.
Just kidding.
I'm going to cut that out anyway.
Movies, Netflix.
Pause. Oh, how's that for smart, Cain?
Oh, I was going to get something like that, but you had them all. 7 shirts, 7 pants type of thing. You get a couple of days out of them. You might get longer sort of out of them if you want to go. Underwear, I try and do underwear on a daily basis.
Do they need to know about your underwear?
They do need to know. Well, they might be going, geez, dude, you can't wear your underwear all the time.
No, you can't.
Or don't worry about wearing underwear.
Oh, no. Really?
Freedom.
Oh, gosh. We do have a fairly... I've just got to cut. This dog's annoying me. Oi, shut up. You're interrupting my YouTube.
Grandma's over there with them.
How rude. The camp dog interferes with my YouTube. Like, tell ya, doesn't it know who it's dealing with? Okay. I didn't like how I started that anyway, so final lessons. Is that how you say it? Final lessons?
Yeah, just some of our lessons we've learnt right at, you know, the end. So.
Is that meant to be better?
Okay.
The sort of thing that you'd like to see occasionally.
I'm lost. I thought you said you were talking about next week's episode.
Yeah, well, I was just going back to the conclusion.
The conclusion was good.
I thought it rambled.
We didn't ramble. That rambled. Please tell me that rambled.
In the bloopers section, if you agree with me, can you tell me? Or if you agree with Cain, just don't comment because we don't want to let him know you agreed.